Hello, my name is Philip Hahn and I am chairman of Hahn Family Wines. It is a reflection of its people, who were both pioneering and adventurous. This was the site of the gold rush. This was where the grapes of wrath were written. This is where the canning companies of Monterey Bay were started. These people could live anywhere else on Earth, and my Swiss and German parents moved to the Central Coast when they saw the sheer staggering natural beauty and variety of the geography. And that is reflected in the wine-growing regions. You have Pinot Noirs from Santa Lucia Highlands in Santa Rita. You have Cabernets from Paso Robles. You have Rhones from all sorts of pockets within the region. And this allows for new ideas to be formed. This allows for that pioneering spirit to be shown in the wine. And the geography even extends to other things like avocados, to berries, cauliflower. So we also have this history of other ways of doing agriculture, and we've learned from them as well. I see Central Coast's future as one of specialization. It's taken us a long time to understand the whole valley and how complex it is, and that allows each little region to specialize. We also have an explosion of boutique wineries with very young winemakers with new ideas. And this allows our region to go into what I think is the future of wine, which is luxury. We're no longer, nor should we be, a mass production region, and that is reflected in the quality of every glass. Well, I'd say our diversity of the portfolio reflects the diversity of the region. When we first started, there was nothing. These were horse and cattle ranches, owned for several generations after the Spanish left. We purchased those and we started planting. It was a huge gamble. The advantage of it is that you have vineyards all across the gamut of quality. So you start off in value, of course, and then you start to think, what can you really do with a terroir? Well, why do you create your own AVA? And without the resources that the value production can do, and we look at value as actually premium that happens to have a value price associated with it, you can't have the resources to do things like small batch and invest in ultra premium and crop down your vineyards in order to achieve the quality that you see in the glass. So they all must be integrated, and I've thought that we needed a footprint of much larger competitors. So we have a fully built out sales force, and they also conduct on and off premise all of the places you can sell. And so we needed a force that looks exactly like people 10 times larger than us. And that allows us to focus on every segment. And without the vineyards associated with it, we wouldn't have the resources to do that. Well, we are the last undeveloped valley that is still accessible in all of California. And we love it because it still is pristine. Yet it is accessible. It's a beautiful drive down the Highway 1, and if you're in a hurry, it's only 2.5 hours from San Francisco, about 6 hours from Los Angeles. So it is accessible, it just never has been touched. The disadvantage is that there is no real hospitality in a valley itself, but it's only 45 minutes from Monterey Bay, where Big Little Lies was filmed, where we have everything from budget to luxury hotels. We have the aquarium, which is world-class, and when I was not at the winery, I spent my childhood in that. We have fascinating scuba diving. We have the world's best golf. All the resources are there. But this is changing, and we're actually the first to do this, but we're doing a full 5-year rebuild of the whole winery. And that will start with a hospitality center. So we will bring in chefs, and then you compare their food and our wine and oversee a beautiful valley that will never be developed. We're now actually within a national park, and we think that's absolutely wonderful because we don't want to be a different valley. We want to show what we've always been like, and yet be close with airports and hotels that everyone can be happy. Well, I would say that the children come in 3 varieties. They're either far too smart for this industry, in which case they just want to drink the wine, or they're too stupid, in which case they shouldn't be let near anything sharp. Or you're in the middle, which is where I consider myself, just enough to be a danger to others. And I think it is incumbent upon the first generation to have an honest assessment of what they want to do with their children. Should they be running it, or should they have a professional management crew? And that is the first thing that the older generation should ask. The second thing is, should all children be involved, and how? Should they all have communal decisions, or should there be one that really runs it and the others are more junior to them? The third thing they need to do, and the most important thing, is when they hand it over, they should trust whoever they've selected to chart a new path if they need to. And my father had the wisdom to see that, and that really requires letting go emotionally and letting go of your own ego. If these things are to survive, you need to entrust the next generation to do it. As a result, he and I never fought on anything, and I was able to change our focus into luxury. For the younger generation, you have to ask yourself, do you want to do this? And much more importantly, why? In order to answer the question why, you also need to look at the future. You've been given something tremendous, and it's incredible responsibility. And just because you're the second generation, then you're just a link in a chain to the third generation. So that allows you to afford a very long-term thinking of where you want to go, a quarter century really of time to prepare. Where should you go? Where should your valley go? Where should your wine go? In my mind, there's only one route, and that's luxury.